Hello, and welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thank you very much for joining me as I explore the amazing, incredible wide world of pens. And there's one being held up by a cat rotating in front of you, which I think is worthy of our attention. Occasionally people reach out to me and ask me if I could review their pens, and Highlander did that, and I'm very pleased that they did. They sent me a nice note. It's a husband and wife team running a small American business, and that's good. We need a lot more people doing that, and this is a great product that they've produced. So let's dive in, take a look at this product in more close detail, as I usually do. So packaging does not make the pen, but it can certainly provide an extra enjoyment to your pen buying experience or gifting experience, and I think this would be a great gift. Nice magnetic closure. I haven't seen that before. And inside there's a nice card. They do enjoy the gold and black themes. I'll give you a link to their website. We'll talk a little bit about that. But the pen really fits well inside that foam insert. And in the package also was a converter and a cartridge. So for those people that prefer one or the other, you have an option and choice. It's a nice Schmidt converter. And a nice velvet pen pouch with their logo. Very well done. Very impressed. They've done some interesting things that no one else has done that I'm aware of. And I'm glad to be able to share them with you. Hopefully you enjoy them too. So to me, first impressions are always good. Way to judge what your long-term pleasure is going to be in using a writing instrument. And this thing feels good in the hand. It has plenty of weight. And I do love that Burlwood and that darker chrome plating on everything, consistent throughout the pen. And they have a nice logo at the top and also at the bottom. So that's, again, a nice little attention to detail. Very well done clip. Springy. It'll fit over almost anything you want to put it over. And the other thing that's impressive about the pen is when you uncap it, it's a little resistance right in the beginning, then it starts to turn a little bit easier. And at that little less than 1.5 turns, and we see the same type of plating on the nib and the section. Again, very consistent, very nice. And I love those block threads that they've put here. We'll look inside the cap, but I'm certain there's a plastic liner. And it feels good, and it tightens up right at the very end. So there's no way this cap is going to come off accidentally. Just an interesting German nib. And hopefully you recognize that feed. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's balanced well in the hand. That section's a little on the small side for me. And it is a little slippery, but not significant. Not any more than most other pens. But it gives you a nice writing experience. And for those that want to post, not recommended, doesn't work, doesn't fit. So that's fine. And I think they mentioned that. But again, I do love the look. High polish on everything. Very nicely done. Wood is such a nice material. So when I get to meet a new pen maker, which this is one of those examples, I love to explore their website. It's very well done. Like everything that they do is a very high quality to it. Good feel. Very good first impressions. And as I mentioned, it's coming up the holiday season, and this is definitely a giftable item. And there are many, many varieties to choose from. I'm just impressed with the number of different pens, combinations of materials, the look, and it's a pen. And I think for what they've done here, the price is reasonable. It's really very subjective as far as what you feel is a worthwhile way to spend your money, but you could do much worse. So, welcome to Highlander Pen Company. I mentioned just a cartridge converter. You know, the section unscrews from the barrel, nice metal and metal threads there, and a very upscale Schmidt converter. Good to see. Fits very snug. Again, it's a good design. Classic. So in addition to pens, obviously the other thing we need is paper. So they have an interesting collection of notebooks, and they were very generous to send one to me. That logo is certainly an impressive logo. Comes in a nice sturdy cardboard box. And there was a nice sleeve on this, but I took it off. And again, another embossed logo this time. I really like it. It has a good feel to it. Nice flexible cover. Again, some nice gold again. Certainly into the gold piece. And we'll explore this paper. Use the pen to write on it. It feels good in the hand. Very nicely done. And of course, there's your ribbon marker. It's always good to have. And each of the pages have that Highlander logo. You're not going to forget that this is a product from Highlander. And this was that sleeve that was on the notebook. Again, very classy, very well done, good quality. I like it. So a journal is only as good as the paper that's in it. And this is excellent paper. I'm very impressed. Feels smooth. I used a number of different inks here just to show you the differences. And yes, the glitter inks, the sheening inks all come out really nice on the paper. And the other thing that you got to be aware of is there any bleed through, show through? No, zero. Very good. They used excellent paper. What you would expect Highlander to do with their journals. And the notebook is the exact size that I really enjoy, B5, black. This was another plastic covering to make certain everything arrives in very good shape. We'll show you some of the bits and pieces of the pen. It's very well made. Everything fits together well. Tolerances are good. Transitions between the elements are good. And of course you get nice little details at various bits and pieces. But what really interests me is nibs. And this nib is definitely nice in that dark titanium, but it looks familiar. Feed looks familiar, and so does that whole nib assembly. So we have here a Jowo nib out of a Franklin Christoph pen, and it is identical, the whole nib collar and nib assembly and the feed. And the Franklin Christoph nib, the Jowo nib, will just screw right in to this metal section. So you have a whole plethora of nibs, if you have some Jowo nibs that are in different pens, that you could use and swap it into the Highlander pen if you wanted to. I mentioned the way the cap screws onto the barrel is quite nice with those block threads. And if we look inside the cap, we'll see a nice plastic liner, and there's those plastic threads that work so well. And block threads are nice. Not used by as many pen makers as you would think, considering how well they work. So looking through my ink notebook for an ink that I think might work well, I think this number 5 looks interesting. Don't have it in a pen. This is the bottle it comes in. No glitter, just a nice saturated ink color. Let's see how it works in the pen. Well, I would say this is a good number 6 German steel nib. like Jowo and Bach make. You know, there's different feelings between the two companies, but I think both of them make quality nibs. And I think this AliExpress ink really does a good job. Nice shading. One of the things that you'll feel with this nib on paper is there's a fair decent amount of feedback. You can feel the nib on the paper, which is fine with me. I like that. Very consistent line. You don't need a lot of pressure to get it to write. And it's fairly wet. I'm impressed this ink does a very, very good job in this pen. I'm going to be enjoying writing letters with it. So we've reached the conclusion of this review. And hopefully you've enjoyed the review, enjoyed the pen. Hopefully the pen is some interest to you. All of us have our own pen wants and needs. So to me, I use a phrase that there's no pen for everybody, but everybody can find their pen. And this might be one of those. You never know. All of us like different colors and looks, and Highlander certainly provides you with those options. And the nib writes very, very well, and it's just a standard Jowo nib assembly, so you can unscrew it and screw in any Jowo nib that you have if you wanted to replace it. And that's also a very good feature of this pen. So with that, we've reached a conclusion. I hope this video finds everyone safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying your pens, enjoying your day. It's a very cold and sunny day here in New Jersey. Maybe we'll be out for a walk later on. So thank you all for watching. We've reached the end, and I will say bye.